Alright, welcome everyone, welcome to my demonstration video about my MIDI controller plugin for Blender, which allows you to control properties of objects in your scene using MIDI control input. Let's get started. First, search for devices connected to your PC. If it finds my MIDI mix device, which is currently the only device that I have, which is a mixing panel with a lot of buttons, knobs and sliders, which is really targeted for this kind of usage. If all the controllers should work, but your mileage may vary, if you can verify this for me, that would be great. Anyhow, let's click on it, and then if you can open a status window, you can see it has connected. If you then change the control surface, like my slider 1, it's detected, slider 2, slider 3, so you can see what's happening here in the status window. Next is binding a control. If you for the keyframe input, it allows you to input keyframes for every selected object for every property that is being mapped in this plugin. So first of all, you have to click on Start Binding, then you have to press the button on your MIDI controller, and then the button is bound to this function. Then you can close this, it's not really important for now. Then we can go to the main topic of this plugin. So mapping a property. First of all, what you have to do is you have to go to the object, select the object, then go to the property windows. This one can close. Change the property value, and if you change the property value, you can see that it detects that you changed a property value, and then it asks you to configure the property. I previously tried this out, so it remembers my last input here. For you, this field will probably be empty at first, and these two values will be 0. So again, give it a name. I previously gave it the power underscore slider 1, so that I can easily remember which control I have mapped to which property. Then you can hit on apply, and then the button is mapped. So if I now change the value, it should change. Just a moment. Just have to try it again. So change the property, select the object, change the power value, hit apply, and now it's bound. Okay, sometimes a little bit fiddly, but it worked from time to time. This is still very much a work in progress just for me plugin, but if you can find any use for it, that would be great. Alright, now it's bound. The power behind this plugin is that it's not specifically bound to an object. It's just saying if you have an object selected with the power property inside of it, I will change that property for it. So if I now select the second or the middle fixture and then move it, you can see it's also changing, and then this one as well. And in addition, if you select both of them, it should change for both of them. So that's basically the power behind this plugin. Of course, since selecting objects is very important for this plugin to function, I've also added a feature which allows you to create groups of selections and bind it to buttons so that you can easily swap between selected objects. For example, I have these two outer fixtures selected, and I want to create a group for it. So the outer selection, call it whatever you want. Click on Map Selection Group, and then it asks you to press a button on your MIDI control. I press button 1, and then it's mapped to my first button, which can be seen here. There's nothing to change here for this mapping. You have to delete it if you want to do it again. But again, let's continue. So of course you want multiple groups, so my second group is in the middle. Map selection group, press the second button, and now if I press button 1, it goes to the outer 2, and then I can change the properties. I press button 2, it goes to the middle one, and change the properties. So that's basically how groups work. Alright, moving on. Then we have controlling the frame position using MIDI control input, and this is a little bit tedious. Not really sure if I'm gonna rework it in future revisions, probably will. Let's get started. So first thing first, what you have to do to get it to work is bind a control for increasing the frame position. So in my case that will be a slider. So I say click on map control, and then I move the control, and now it's bind to my most outer slider. It's on my device, it's called the master slider. So Now it's positioned there. I can increase the resolution. So if I set it to, as you can see, the resolution is not currently updated in the slider itself. So this is just an input. So if I set it to 1, hit save, it changes here. And if I now move the master key, it now moves 127 positions. And just now you just saw something else. This whole sliding, moving the position around is based on a static starting position, and this is basically updated 1 second after you change the input through the MIDI control. So if I change it quickly, it won't remember the last input as the last position, but if I move it like so, 180, and then leave it for 1 second, then that's the new starting position. So, and that's why you want to control the decrease as well, for decreasing the frame. So you have to use 2 controls for this. You can click on map control because that's what it's asking. Then slide the second slider to do the inverse, decreasing the frame. And as you can see, that's working now as well. So this way you can use both sliders to go back and forward. And then, as you can see, and eventually it will end up at 0. That's now the new starting position, and then slides around. So my sliders are quite short, so I usually have it on the resolution a little bit higher. It's a little bit unclear maybe, but I have it on 2, and then it moves like half as far, and then I have a little bit more control of the specific frame I am on. Okay, so that's that. Of course, you can export and import all these settings, the mappings and everything. So I can click on export, go here, click something I've already created, export mapping. Of course, this overrides everything if you load it again. So if I create, for example, another group, and then bind it here, and then I import the settings, or then I probably will override it again. Import selection, as you can see, yeah. So that's basically a simple feature, which makes it easier to manage your configuration, because in different scenes you might want to have different configurations, whatever. Alright, let's have a small demonstration of how you actually use this in practice. Alright, we are at position 0. Let's select all of them. Oh wait, let's create a group for them, for all the fixtures. So all, I want to select all of them. Hit map selection group, press 3, and now if I select one, the other, I can select all of them. Let's turn all the power down. Hit the insert keyframe button, which we mapped in the beginning of this video, the 26 button, and then it inserts the keyframe. So now if I move the frames up like to 40, increase the power, insert the keyframe, and then move it up again to, let's say, 80, then decrease the power again, insert the keyframe, it's now animated. And of course, thanks to the way with the selection groups, I can select the most outer ones, and from this point on, let's move it again to 120, insert the key, increase the power again, insert keyframe, and then go to 140, and then decrease the power and insert the keyframe again. And if we play this again, you see now the animation is working as intended. So that's basically how you can use this plugin. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, bug reports, feature requests, just please ask me, and I will do my best to help you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.